Good morning. I'm Kacky Walton. Checking on the Arts is made possible by contributing listeners and by Memphis College of Art. Playhouse on the Square presents the regional premiere of Bad Jews by Joshua Harmon that opens tonight at Circuit Playhouse and runs through February the 8th. It's being directed by Anita Jo Lenhart. Performance is Thursday through Saturday at 8 o'clock with a Sunday matinee at 2. The Pay What You Can performance is Thursday, January the 22nd. And don't forget, as always, special ticket prices for performances opening weekend. So tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, tickets are only $22. I am so absolutely thrilled to welcome back to our studios my guest this morning. She's playing the role of Daphne, Laura Stracko Franks. You may remember her as a company member at Playhouse on the Square. A few years ago, she won the Larry Riley Rising Star Award, and she was in that 2010 production of Hairspray, and she won an Ostrander for her role as Penny Lou Pingleton. And she left us to go explore the wide world of theater, and of course she went to New York City, and that's where she's been, and now she's married, and now she's back to play Daphne, and she's in the studio with me. I just love you to pieces. I'm so glad you're back. It's so good to see you.
I'm so happy to see you.
How did this happen that you came back?
Well, I was contacted by Jackie to audition for him. He had seen the show in New York off Broadway, and he said that the lead character reminded him of me, and I could totally see it. We have Tracy Chimo, who originated the role. We have a lot of physical similarities as far as hair and kind of facial features and stuff. So yeah, I was contacted by Jackie to audition that way.
Had you seen the show?
No, I hadn't, but it's actually interesting that he contacted me because a couple of my other friends had said the same thing. They're like, "Oh, this show is new and it's out, and you would just be great in it. Like, it'd be a great part for you." So I had heard this before, so it's very timely.
Well, I was doing research, and I remember we're going to talk about the title in a second, because when Jackie made the season announcement, and it's the big 75th season, and he said, "And coming up in January, Bad Jew," and I went, "What?
Yeah.
What is that? Bad Jews? Ooh, I don't know." But then I started reading about it. It's so funny. Mm-hmm. It's been called savagely funny, scathingly funny. And so we're going to talk about the plot in a second, but I looked at some video too, and I did see that actress that you were just mentioning, and I saw somebody else from another company, and I thought the same thing. I went, "Oh my gosh, she is absolutely tailor-made to do this role." I did.
It helps feeling like you have the physical stuff coming into it. It helps you feel like you can match the part.
Yeah, but it's not only the way that you look. I mean, that's not it. I mean, I know that you've got the fire in you, and you've got,
Daphne's got to be feisty. She's a bit of a scrapper.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's like, it's a wonderful female role to play. She's strong, and she's effervescent, and she's just fun, and her words are fun, and I just enjoy every bit of her. I love her.
Well, let's talk about the plot. And tell us, first of all, what does the title mean, Bad Jews?
Right. And like the reaction that you had, that I hope that people hear the title and they're intrigued rather than like afraid of it, because the title really, more than anything, is a reflection of what the characters think of each other, because we're at different places on the spectrum of faith. And it's just the idea of, where you are with your faith may be different from me, but I think my way is the right way. And so in that sense, maybe we consider each other bad Jews, quote unquote, because we don't agree. My character is very traditional, and the other characters are more liberal. I believe in keeping customs. They believe in reforming tradition with the times, and that they should change from generation to generation. So the title is, it can seem daunting, but it's appropriate. It's definitely appropriate.
So don't eat that cookie on Yom Kippur.
No, don't do it.
So tell us how you come together with your cousins, and I love this line. This is the line from the New York Times review, and I thought I have to say this because it's what a perfect way to start. There's nothing like a death in the family to bring out the worst in people.
Right. It's so hilarious. So what happens is the patriarch, our grandfather, passes away, and so everybody's in town for the funeral, and the funeral has happened that day before, and we're all here in town to sit Shiva, which is the ceremony of mourning the loss of a loved one for the week, traditionally the week passing the funeral, and So we all get together for that, and it's just kind of everything that happens when we're all stuck together and all the arguments that happen, you know, because it's a shift that we go through because the grandfather is the final oldest member passing away from the family. So our parents are, you know, shifting up, and so we're shifting up and in the line of the family, and that's, you know, that's something that we address. And so it's like this weird kind of like loss of you don't know what part you play in your family and trying to kind of struggle to figure that out with each other.
Yeah. Now there's something, a family heirloom also comes into play that
Yes.
you're fighting over. Not all of you, but you and your other cousin Liam.
Yes, it's called a chai, and it's a traditional Jewish piece of jewelry. I describe it in the play as well, but what I say, it's two letters, a chet and a yud, and it has a numeric equivalent of 18, which is a very important number, and it means, you know, life, and it's a very important symbol in Jewish culture, and it belonged to our grandfather rather, and he, you know, held on to it through his life in a really cool way, which you find out when you see the show, and so that's why it holds so much meaning for both of us.
Right. You know that I took a test this morning on which bad Jew I was.
What? There's a test?
There's a test. I answered some.
Know who I am.
I'll show you where the test is. I was Liam.
Man, that's
I
fun.
was.
You were. Oh, hey. You know what? I feel like I might be too. You know, because that's what's a struggle about this part is that I'm pretty liberal in my views, and so, but I can totally understand where she's coming from, and that's what's so charming about this whole dang play is that everybody comes from where they're coming from with the best of intentions, and nobody is, you know, has malice in what they're trying to accomplish. It's really just, we all believe that we're truly trying to accomplish the greatest goal, and that's just such a struggle.
So in addition to Liam, so you're like the super Jew. He's sort of like the semi Jew.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's a bit more agnostic, you know. He knows some things there, but he doesn't, you know, necessarily. He's moving away from the faith for sure.
Jewish.
Yeah, right. Like in the best sense of it. Yeah, Jewish. Yeah, and then his brother, my other cousin, Jonah, his character is really kind of more like a little indifferent, and he just wants to keep the peace, and he kind of will tell anybody what they need to hear to kind of make things okay. So he's a peacemaker for sure.
Yeah. The one in the middle, like the middle brother almost, or the middle sibling is always the one that's okay. Yeah. But you and Liam get into it a lot and loudly.
We really do, and that's a challenge. Like I'm warming up vocally a little bit more for this show than I do for some musicals, because it's tough on the voice and the body. I mean, and the heart. Honestly, I'm emotionally spent by the end of it.
So who are you on stage with? Tell us who's playing the other characters.
So I am with Madeline. She's one of the associate company members, as well as Oliver Pierce. He's another associate company member, and Matt Nelson, who's he just finished his freshman year at U of M. And they're all so lovely and so talented, and they've been so giving and patient in this entire process. And Joe, our director, is just incredible and has brought out things in us that I know we all didn't expect of ourselves, and she set the bar high from the beginning and encouraged us to just keep meeting it. So they all inspire me so much.
Now, is there any such thing as you as an actor going too far, overdoing it? I can't see overdoing it factoring into the equation, maybe.
Well, the only thing as far as that goes is I would say the biggest challenge with a show like this is that you need to remain real. It has to come from a real place, or else it's not going to be believable. Right. So, which is tough because so much theater is over the top, and you know, it has that theatrical quality to it that we're so used to and that we love. So it's like when you have a show where you just have to be yourself, like sometimes that's really hard. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely try not to overdo anything and just keep it honest and true to our intentions.
And when you take on a role like this, I mean, some people may not like her. May not like Daphne.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But you have to.
Yes. And that's something that I struggled with. You know, there's things about her that I loved from the beginning, and things about her that I'm still like, hey. But she what I always have to focus on is that she comes from a place of genuine caring, and like even though she may come off as harsh or brash or difficult to deal with sometimes, it's just because she cares so much about preserving the culture that she comes from, and she doesn't want to see it go away.
Right.
And I think that's something that everybody can kind of wrap their head around,
Yeah. Well, I know one of her lines, she said something and she said, once it's gone, it's gone.
Right. She talks about how something that I love about, countries like this is that so many people marry interfaith, interracially. And I think that's awesome. But she's coming from a place of like, if people keep doing that in a few generations, we're all going to look the same. There's going to be no difference. Everybody's going to be like equally kind of blended, and there's going to be no distinction between any culture. And, she says 5,000 plus years, this has mattered to people.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, when it's easiest, when it's safest to be who we are, now it's when people want to change their minds and say, oh no, and just give it up. Like, it's not fair to her.
Oh, wow. Have you enjoyed this so much?
I really have. I mean, it feels like such an artistic workout. It's so refreshing. I'm recharging my batteries when I'm here.
Oh, I love it. So you're here through February 8th.
Yes.
So you're going back to New York.
I am.
So what's been happening in New York? I see interesting things on Facebook from time to time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to audition as much as I can. That's half the battle in a big city like that, is you just need to put yourself in front of the people that need to see you. Mm-hmm. So I see my career changing in some great ways, and I have some exciting possibilities coming up that it's just, I see myself growing as a person and learning mostly to be patient with my career, and that I can't force anything. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And while I'm there, I just need to do everything that I can to promote myself. I always say the hustle never stops. Mm-hmm. So I just have to keep plugging along.
And you did a cabaret too at one point, did you?
I did, yeah. And that's something I want to do more of. I'm in the search of an agent, and representation, things like that are always ongoing. So cabarets are a great way to do that. It's a great way to have people come out and see you and get yourself on tape. And that's actually something that I'm working on while I'm here. The interns and I are putting together a cabaret. It's going to be in the Memphian room at Circuit. Yeah.
When's that going to be?
There's going to be two, actually, on the evening of the 31st of January, after both Rocky Horror and Bad Jews that evening, and then one on Monday the 2nd.
How fun. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Come out. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. These interns are so talented. Playhouse always finds such talented interns. It's like, I don't know how they just snap them all up, but they do. But they do. And they're so lovely, and I hope that everybody can come see them do a little bit of their own thing, too.
So January the 31st and February 2nd. Mm-hmm. All right, in the Memphian room at Circuit Playhouse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, put that on your calendar, too. But in the meantime, do not miss the regional premiere of Bad Jews. I promise you. If you want to go and look at some of the video and know what you're getting in for, it's going to be such an amazing performance by Laura and by the rest of the cast. We have to call her Laura Stracko Franks now, since she got married. How long have you been married?
A little over a year and a half now, August 2013.
Oh, see, you're still a newlywed, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go, can you tell us who's sponsoring the show?
Absolutely, yeah. The Circuit Playhouse super sponsor is Dr. Thomas Ratliff, and the Circuit Playhouse season sponsor is the Arthur F. and Alice E. Adams Foundation, and our show sponsor is the friends and family of Sandra Goldstein.
Well, we appreciate it because you couldn't do it without them.
That's right. We need them.
So again, Bad Jews opens tonight at Circuit Playhouse, runs through February the 8th. You can get tickets by calling 726-4656, or you can go to playhouseonthesquare.org. Don't forget also that Pay What You Can performance is Thursday, January the 22nd. But it is a play about opposing viewpoints, deeply felt convictions, loud and long arguments. And at the head of all of those arguments is my guest this morning, playing Daphne, Laura Stracko Franks. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Kacky.
Checking on the Arts made possible by Memphis College of Art, presenting Wish It Forward, an exhibition of graphic design work produced for the Make-A-Wish Foundation Mid-South. The exhibition is on view in the Rust Hall Main Gallery through January 27th, with an opening reception January 17th. Information at mca.edu. Memphis College of Art, they make art work.